I recommend you get a copy of my book, From Rage to Responsibility. I write about how the spirit of anger was taken away from me 29 years ago. I forgave my mother who tried to turn me away from my father, and I returned to my father, and through him, my father on earth, and through him, I was able to return to God. No man or woman can return to God unless you go through the Son. And men are sons of God. There may be weak, pathetic examples of it, but it's the spiritual order of life. God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. So get From Rage to Responsibility. I write about that. Go to my website, rebuildingtheman.com for an autographed copy, or call 800-411-BOND. And donate to my nonprofit, Bond, the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. We are rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. Other than sex, I wonder, why would a man even need a woman today? Women don't know how to cook. They don't know how to clean. They're in competition with men. They don't want to be wives and mothers. Some want to get married, but they don't want to live in that proper position of life, because the only purpose of marriage is to have a family, and that's been known forever. And so if you don't want to have children, there is no need to get married. And so I was wondering, why would a man even get married today? I never thought I'd see the day when women would come out of her natural role and be like a man. Even though she hate that role, when she was with a man that's weak, she hate him. But if he try to be strong, she'll stop it. I never imagined that. You're seeing good destroyed and abnormal is presented as normal. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room,
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border, and then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. They don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. Thank you for tuning in, folks, on this fine Tuesday. What a fine Tuesday it is to be back with you. on this Men's History Month Tuesday. So how you doing, everybody? Welcome to the show. Got a bit of a show for you. It's be a little fun. Maybe even a little men's history in there. I'm sure we can find it. I'm sure we can find a way we can find it. You could say some men standing up to boats of migrants. They're like brawling with them. They're tackling them in the sand. But they're hamstringed, right? The men of a country. It's happening everywhere. Some are spraying manure. Call it a white riot. I don't know if I really want to say that. I'm thinking about how some say these whites riot. They'll be remembered for one thing, Jesse. Whites will be remembered for January 6th, which was pretty chill, right? Maybe not. Anger maybe have been involved, but, I heard even on the Hake Report, it was somebody saying, Lindsey Graham was saying, shoot those people. I'm looking it up. Yeah. That's something Tucker claimed that Lindsey Graham said about the protesters, the rioters in January 6th. And I wonder, it's like, was there anything to be afraid of? But anyways, look, getting off the beaten path here. Look, welcome to the show. If you want to call in, you could call in 888-775-3773 as we get into a number of stories today. So appreciate everybody being here. Welcome, everybody. Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. My beautiful viewers over there, thank you. Appreciate it. And, of course, punchy.tv/Anchor Baby. Thank you for making an account. Thank you for being there. And what's up, everybody? How you doing? In the chat, welcome. 888-775-3773. Let's just flash that on the screen. What can I say? I've got a number of things to get into. Why are you guys talking French? Speaking French, français, in the chat. Did you know that we were going to be going to France here in a moment? We're flying to France in a moment. Welcome, Cloud. Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Chaos in the chat, possibly. Thank you, mods. How you doing? Hey, Chris, Birdie Bout, Brian, Taylor D, Modern Gentleman, C-Sal. The ladies in the chat, Canada in the chat, I think. Welcome. And I appreciate the super chats and all that. We'll get to everybody. We'll get to the supporters. Amazing. Thank you very much. Buymeacoffee.com/Anchor Baby. You got something you want to type out, you want to say. So, there's this funny thing. I found it interesting as people have to take things into their own hands. And it's a terrible thing sometimes. Maybe it shouldn't be that way. And that even that phrase evokes maybe something like, okay, a dark path. When the public takes things into their hands. That's why we have police. We can't let people act crazy. And I agree with the notion. I mean, it's just, I find it funny, you have these French farmers, their methods, it's like, we're going to take things into our own hands. Call it funny, maybe. I mean, it's aggressive. I wouldn't call it violent. Look, these farmers out in France, there's apparently bands of traveling nomads. There's like peoples basically that live this way. They're nomads. They travel around. They come to the same areas like every year. They take this route. They're in these caravans with RVs. They're modern nomads, right? They got some. I'm sure they have Type C chargers. Maybe they even have Starlink. I don't know. But they're out there and they're a nuisance. They're a big deal. They're at least a problem with these people here. So they show up on some meadow, private property. And you got to see this image. It's like egregious. No person of order would appreciate this at all. It's just egregious. They just show up on your meadow. And what's going on here is you're seeing an image of the farmers dealing with it, taking it into their hands. These brown strips are not merely tracks of a vehicle. It's manure. It's slurry, as it's known in the industry. Slurry, a mixture of like water, manure. It's for farming, okay? It's very smelly. They're just spraying it. They're just spraying it, and this video's intense. Like they're calling them gypsies, okay? Okay? illegal gypsy camp. They put the news is put it the Telegraph puts it in quotation marks. But furious farmers have sprayed squatters with manure in a bid to drive them off their land in eastern France. A convoy of tractors spread a mixture of feces. They spell that F-A-E. You know, it's probably normal, but it's just whatever. Feces and water across fields where caravans were parked in Haute-Vosges. Are we going to have to French it up here? Look, we're going to absolutely massacre this language. After reportedly receiving no help from police to remove what they described as an illegal gypsy camp, okay? Now, do you guys know about the gypsies? I don't think I know much about them, okay? Let me just be straight. But the video is definitely fun to watch a little. They get on the tractors, you know, they get on there like banging on the windows. Like it starts, you know, it gets maybe into a, you know, what do they call that? What would Sam Hyde call it? A life or death scenario. But okay. Out here in France, look, this whole video is in French, so the people are. It's in French, okay? Agriculture en colère versus Jean du Voyage. Angry farmers. See, I thought that word was agriculture. I did pop it into the translate, but, you know, that means farmers, I bet. Because, look, it's saying angry agriculture. No. Versus these travelers, okay? It almost turned into, like, a problem. It almost degenerated. Anyways, let's get to the video. Jeez. Bow, bow, bow. So they're the 8th of July, the farmers, they Haute-Vosges got rid of these people, okay? This illegal occupation, l'occupation illégale de leur prairie, par des groupes de gens de voyage. Ces terrains sont essentiels à l'alimentation de leur bétail. I don't know what actually that says. This is essential to the nourishment. They're talking about feeding the people, I think. We're gathering with our broken French, with our very broken French. Give me that. What are we saying here? The lands are essential for feeding their livestock. Okay. See, we're on there somewhere. Get to it. Yeah. Okay, thanks. Yep. That's a lot of text. It's a wide spray. Look, that guy's getting it. This guy is in the path. Look, this guy right here, white shirt. You're getting it. That guy's boots are full of it, right? Like the guy's shoes are sloshing right now. They have to be. Oh, they all got hit. That guy big time. Look, this guy's just drenched now. This guy's just showered in it. Bow. In the face. Now we got a violent situation here. One of the gypsies is banging on here. Nice drone footage. I mean, did they plan this? Operation Muck It Up was a success. I read they left it a couple days. And the smell was just incredible. And they had to take it into their own hands. You know, they said the local police and officials would just not help them. These people come all the time. And they destroy the area, pollute, they leave their trash. And it's Ontario French. Do we have Cloud? Are you? I don't want to dox. Are you French Canadien? In the face. So, just thought it was somewhat funny. Callers, I see you. 888-775-3773. We'll get to you. French farmers. But it's like everywhere. So that's France, right? Seem to have to deal with. This is clearly like a government thing. Like it's definitely a leading It's definitely a governance issue. Can you govern? What a skill set you must have. What kind of knowledge you got to have here to skillfully work this out? Do these people come every year? Does the state come in and deal with it heavily? Like we totally block them? Like we really just change it up or set areas for them? Maybe there's a way. It's a matter of governance, right? And maybe something hard to teach kind of thing. It's kind of a passed down kind of thing, no? Governance, watching over, what's the word I'm looking for? Custodialship, something like that, right? Being a custodian. I doubt they were gypsies, bro. Can't scare gypsies off like that. Hold up. But you're dealing with manure, slurry. That's I don't know. You got to be a certain kind of person. You got to be like barely a kind of a person, maybe. You have to be barely a person to just kind of live amongst the slurry. But okay, where was we? Look, the French farmers, a matter of governance, kind of just thinking out loud. Look, these Spaniards, check these Spaniards out. Is this my ignorance? Are they a little more violent with their issues? Does it track with the swarthiness? I don't know. I'm ignorant, folks. I don't know. But look, they took it into their own hands a little bit here. They're not too happy. Some of them, they're out there on the beach. Imagine this. You're Spanish. You're a Spaniard. You're out on the beach enjoying the land of your ancestors. The beach that your ancestors gave you. I don't know why I'm laughing.
Probably not.
And then, a boat shows up. And you've seen this. You've seen this a few times. You've seen videos of this. He's like, I've seen this before. This is a rerun. There's this boat. I swear I just saw this on X on YouTube the other day. This is the moment a migrant boat arrives on the Spanish holiday beach before those on board are chased and tackled by angry locals. Chased and tackled. Let me make sure I got the... you get confused, right? Let me make sure this is a recent... 23 hours ago. Okay, geez. I'm telling you. It's a rerun. But this is that moment. And you're watching this. You're like, you know what? You know what? I'm not going to let that stand. Sotillo Beach. Sotillo? I guess what they said. The incident unfolded on Sotillo Beach in Castel de Ferro, Grenada, on Sunday. Locals are seen tackling some of the migrants to the ground while others manage to escape. He's like pleading. This guy's pleading. He's like, please, please, I just made it to the promised land. Why are you doing this to me, cops? We got police. Polizia. No, wait, that's maybe Italian. These are just Spaniards. Nick. Policia. And what happens, right? Like, did you just expedite his... Is it catch and release? I don't know. This is a different country, folks. I don't even know. I don't know how they handled him there, but if this was America, and maybe not, maybe Trump's America, things may be a little bit different, but you would have expedited their catch and release, so to speak. Hey, police, we got him right here. Thank you. Now we shall give him a court date and release him. Appreciate it, citizen. That might happen in America. It was happening for decades. Footage shared on social media shows a speedboat with young men on board arriving at the shore. Around 13 men believed to be of Moroccan origin. What do they speak in Morocco? Those on the boat are captured diving. According to witnesses, some of the migrants ran. Others tried to blend in with the crowd. You gotta be wily stuff, right? It's like, hey, I was here. I've been here for hours. I just seen these people. This is crazy. Police, get them. What do the Moroccans speak? In Morocco, the main languages spoken are allegedly, and I'm a little bit unhappy with AI. I saw a bunch of it gave me a lot of false info quite recently. So we got to check everything, okay, folks? But it's telling me in Morocco, main languages are Arabic and Berber. What the heck is Berber? It's called, folks, I'm not making this up. They're saying it's the amazing language. I'm not making this up. They're saying it's amazing. Look, Berber. Amazing. Right? Look, folks, I just didn't even know there are that many languages. Jeez. 888-775-3773. I do want to get to my calls. Definitely want to get to my calls here in a sec. What else? We're traveling the world all of a sudden. We're suddenly global. We're just traveling the world. That's something, men's history about that. I was reading. In fact, we'll probably get to it later. Or maybe right now. We're traveling the world, right? In the comfort of our own homes, maybe at work, whatever. Here with the Anchor Baby, we're flying across the world. Went to Spain, went to France. That's been going on for a bit. We just finished White History Month, Men's History Month, the men of the world, white men of the world. They went around the world, And, they say that they're very hateful. And I do come across, it's not like I know everything. I know very little. But it's okay. Let me say, like, for example, when I went to Georgia and we went to that slave house and they told me about the Owens family and how terrible slavery was and all that, but we're in this house learning about this slave-owning family, and they have their quotes and diaries and stuff. And it's almost obvious. It's very clear if you just read, and if you're in there and kind of ignore what they're telling you. And at times, the tour guides even told us, you're about to read something that, for example, they're going to be very positive about a certain slave. They loved this slave, they would write, and cared for this one slave so strongly they went around looking for a hospital, but they never freed her. So don't think that they loved her or anything. So, that the tour guides would even say stuff like that. I had to ignore that. It was clear, in this at least one case, that they were regular, right? A lot more like you and I. Than they would tell us, right? So kind of similar here. These colonialists, right, going around. I just came across one guy, Albert Schweitzer. Albert Schweitzer. This guy, he'd say, this is what he says. I mean, he loved the Africa. He dedicated his life to Africa. He's like a medic, right? He was like a very interesting guy. And he was Albert. He's French. In fact, he was French and German. Let me just pull that up. Yeah, interesting guy. Controversial. So at one point, he had said something that was very controversial, but he was a prominent medical missionary, a Christian who served in Central Africa for decades. He said, I dedicated my life to Africa, but have learned we are different. And he just goes on to say that this is very controversial. That's something that he said, okay? But it's from Crisis Magazine. There's something that all white men who have lived here, like I, must learn. That these individuals, he says, are a sub-race. That's what he says. They have I just don't want to, that's just what he said, right? We have to say it. They have neither the intellectual, mental, or emotional abilities to equate or to share equally with white men in any function of our civilization. We must retain this status. Why am I bringing them up? Look, they say that they're like so hateful and evil, but this guy's saying he loves them. What made me think of it too was this thing going viral. You might know this guy, Mr. Beast. And then we'll get to calls. He goes around and builds wells in Africa. And he's just going around doing that. And I don't know, I think it's a fine thing, maybe. it's all right, I guess. Look, I'm thinking many things when I look at this and thinking about Schweitzer and Albert. I'm thinking about the guest that was on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, Eric, I think, Arwal. He's building that town in the Ozarks, Arkansas. And he's just, in the way he was saying, he was describing black people in America and how they have the best status in a sense. What is it? Like the best quality of life and, like mobility or whatever, upward mobility in life. I think you understand what I'm referring to here. Just the best standing of all there, if you could compare fellow blacks in the world. And that, I don't know, it just tells me that it tells me a couple of things. Like it tells me, for example, blacks here in America, they've become different. They've become different than maybe the ones Schweitzer met and maybe the ones Mr. Beast, just, I don't know what to say. Like the people here around Mr. Beast, they've become different in a sense, and they've also become worse. We can almost track that with some of our lifetimes. The people before us become better, worse. Like it seems like the tools are there for those that want it, right? For a better life. I really think that. I really believe that. And it's just kind of random things I'm piecing together, but I do find them all interesting. Mr. B, Africa. Now we were kind of traveling the world a little bit, okay? Traveling the world a little bit. This was kind of on my mind. Eric was on the JLP show, but I can't remember what else about this. Albert Schweitzer, that's right. Maybe one last thing about Albert here, and then we can get to calls. He was a Christian, dedicated his life to Africa as a medical missionary, expressed deeply paternalistic view, which sounds like caring, right? Sounds paternalistic, like a father. It's according to Crisis magazine. I mean, it has a cool little thing on him. Christian, born in 1875 in Alsace, which is an interesting part of France, if you know anything about Alsace-Lorraine, a region fought over between France and Germany. It was at some time, at one point it's Germany, at one point it's France. Alsace. Interesting guy. You want to see him? Let me just show you and then get to calls here. Albert Schweitz. I have to assume that's how it's said. Schweitzer. How about we look at his mug on this Men's History Month? There he is in color. Huh? Mr. Beast doing greater works than Jesus. Shout out missionaries. Anyways, a little random, maybe a little disjointed, but you guys understand a little bit of that. Some people were saying since we showed the picture, they were not understanding why they had this face. They didn't seem too happy. Some were saying in the comments. I don't know. I didn't really think too much of it. They really kept repeating this in the comments that how come they don't look happy? And they kept zooming in on that guy. Like this one right here. Wait, hold up. This young man. I don't know, it's hot. I mean, you're just catching them it's like you're snapping pictures. And everybody's smiling, bro. Smiling is a sign of, with your teeth especially, like Mr. Beast, is a sign that you're prey. It's a sign, that's what prey does to the predator right before the predator strikes. That's what prey does. Okay? So, something I heard about the animal kingdom. See, you're personifying. I don't think so. You're adding to it, chat. Let's move on, I think. 888-775-3773. I want to get to William, California. How you doing, sir? Appreciate your call.
Hey, happy Men's Month. Men's Month, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Happy Men's History.
Give me a contribution real quick before we talk.
Very nice.
Since me and you both like music, let's go with Burt Bacharach.
Tell me about Burt Bacharach.
Hey, oh my God, everything. Producer, songwriter, worked with everybody. Quincy Jones, Tom Jones. He's worked with a lot of different people. Very important in the music business.
Burt Bacharach. Check it out.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking like Baccarat, the game. Bacharach.
Oh yeah.
Very cool.
You can go through his bio a little bit.
Yeah. Look at this.
Very
awesome profile photo. Not profile photo. You know, what are they?
Commanding. kind of commanding. Like, you know, the studio
Headshot is the word I was looking for.
Mm-hmm. Like the studio is going to be ran this way. Yeah.
What kind of name is Bacharach?
Bacharach.
He was son of Irma M. Nee Freeman.
Yeah.
His mother wasn't black, was she?
I'm not sure about that.
Freeman's not necessarily always a black name.
He sure worked with a lot of blacks. Miles Davis, John Coltrane. He's worked with a lot of
amazing John Coltrane.
Heavyweights. A lot of heavyweights.
A Christian, I believe. John Coltrane.
Yeah.
At least definitely when he got to A Love Supreme.
Yeah. You ever heard that album?
Of course.
Yeah. That's a must do. That one and Kind of Blue. I think Kind of Blue is the biggest selling jazz album ever.
It's basically a standard. I mean, it was groundbreaking at the time, but you basically don't know ish if you can't run a.
You don't know anything if you don't.
If you can't run the changes on Kind of Blue, if you can't run the changes on Love Supreme, if you can't run the changes on Giant Steps, you don't know ish.
You gotta leave.
And I don't know ish. I still don't know ish.
You gotta leave the studio. See you. You need to learn something. Bye. Yeah. Those are important.
Yeah,
very important albums.
Never really knew I never really got into like the background stuff. I knew people who got into like the business, like the producer and how things happen this way and that way. It's always been interesting, but I noticed I'd never know much about that.
Well, you know, Miles Davis was the highest paid musician around in the 50s. In the 1950s, and that Kind of Blue album. What's that song? So What?
Yep.
They did a music video of that. It's like 14, 15 minutes long. It does the whole side A.
You know, Miles Davis was a pretty angry guy, if I remember reading about him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It was I bring it up as it's men's history still, you know, to learn about the good, the bad. It's a matter of reflection. Yeah, I read about how he had a chip on his shoulder big time, and it did come out even like talk about white people and stuff at times. He was a fantastic horn player, but you know, he definitely had that anger on him. I mean, he was. He'd sell his horn to get some stuff before, get high and all that.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. Yeah. But it's crazy.
Well,
you can be a very talented person, but
his wife, Sissy Tyson, she's the one that kept him, she's the one that always tried to get him clean back up so that he could do shows. But the thing about Miles is he went from the 50s, he went to the 60s in the psychedelic era. He went to the 70s with the funk, 80s with the pop, jazz. Miles did it all.
That's true. Yeah, it was you had to evolve there a bit.
Yeah.
Cool.
What do you think about that?
It says
that receiver wars thing we were talking about yesterday.
I've yet to kind of look into it. I've yet to even like really understand because I'm thinking my own things about it. But you did give me the thread to pull on, but I've yet to even pull.
Yeah. I have a Marantz. It's really old, and I kept it. Of course, I had to turn it in to the stereo shop to get it tuned up and everything. But when you play your records and a TAC turntable with that thing, It's just so different.
Oh,
and I know you're in the
wait. Actually, I got a funny question for you, William.
Mm-hmm.
What is a receiver?
That would be amp and a for your radio all in one.
Explain.
You know,
what do you mean?
Like you're gonna have your little dial for the radio.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna have these different functions to hook up your EQ and turntables and reel-to-reel and everything. It's like a nice unit that has a lot of different functions, and then it has the dial for the radio as well. Because remember, at one time radio stations were really big, and that was our go-to.
Gotcha.
Was
so
the radio.
It contained like the antenna, like you have to receive the radio waves.
Yeah.
That's funny because all those things are just like basic now in like a phone, in like your car stereo. Like I just.
Yeah. So
it's like I would never even thought about it. I had to ask you, right, what a receiver was.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a funny thing.
You were doing good. You had to get a paper route or something, or work for Pops or something, man, to get one of those things, man, because you'd be talking about, oh God, you're paying $290 for one of those things, and you don't even have a turntable or speakers or nothing. And that's when we used to build our stereos. It'd be a different brand turntable, different brand EQ, different brand receiver, different brand speakers, all of that stuff.
So it was a whole system of both. It was like the radio side, which received radio waves and all that, but also the amplification of sound side, which is where they were warring on how to make sound, whatever they received to amplify it and make it sound beautiful.
Right.
That's what they were warring about.
Right. And then you build your own stereo. Like I said, the receiver's different, the turntable's different, the speakers are a different brand. And you build things to your personality and your taste of music. And a lot of the receivers were played different music. Some receivers were better for jazz, some were better for rock.
Really?
Yeah.
And why? Did they ever say, or do you know?
Well, I know Macintosh had a softer... Macintosh receivers were very expensive. They were German, and they had a real deep, soft sound to them. And you put progressive jazz on with those.
I'm suddenly suspect. I'm suddenly very suspect. Do you know why? Do you know at all, like under the hood, why the manufacturers were saying their receivers were for this kind of genre of music? Mm-hmm. Are you familiar? Did they ever say why their receivers were like that?
You know who was a good person to ask is probably Bill.
Yeah,
because he's an engineer.
That's true.
We the systems had tubes, and then they went to transistors, then they went to digital. You know what I mean? They had a
great question for Bill. Yeah, I'm suddenly suspect because, I had done this little, barely kind of look into like the manufacturers and how they EQ different things. I wonder what they were doing back then, and if it was all marketing back then as well. But we're gonna look into it, William. I appreciate it. Yeah.
So what's up with this thing on the beach with Guatemalans?
That's Spanish. That's in Spain. Spaniards.
Oh,
yep.
Were they coming in illegal or something? What was going on?
A boat of Moroccans coming in big time illegal, running off into the crowd. Some trying to blend in with the beachgoers, and some getting tackled.
They arrested
by citizens, I believe.
Well, they arrested, like, there was like one girl on one of these Miami beaches, and she got caught and ICE picked her up because she had standards. She wanted to bring her dog on the beach, and they said no dogs allowed. And just something as simple as get your dog off the beach, and she kind of revealed, and next thing you know, here comes ICE, and they say, oh, by the way, you're due to be picked up and deported just because you walked your dog on the beach.
That was here in America. Duh, you said ICE.
Mm-hmm. Down in Florida.
Nice.
Yeah.
I hear that's had a chilling effect in a lot of places.
Oh yeah. While we're talking, now everybody's talking, they're being picked up now. The numbers are, we don't really know how many, but a lot have self-deported. Thousands, hundreds of thousands have self-deported, took that deal of $1,000 and get out of here. But as we speak, they're being picked up now. People might be complaining about it, but operations still continue.
Right on.
And we do live good here. Blacks are amongst the most fortunate. You're talking about as far as the infrastructure. Yes, we are the most fortunate black people in the world here. As you can see, you were showing pictures of that guy. I mean, Jesus Christ, somebody had to come over there and help you guys make a well. Yeah. So, I mean, we are advanced over here.
And I mean that deeper, too. I think, like, I don't know what I was really saying. I just meant, like, I see them as able. I see them as, like, I see them like me. I see them, well, in the, I'm saying is that I think they really are the most well-off, infrastructure, but the most abled even, the most,
Yeah. So they're the most advanced, and they have the best standard of living in the world. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Well, which blacks in this world complain about their lifestyle the most?
In America, possibly.
Thank you. Well, we'll see you later, Nick. Let you get some calls.
Thank you, William. Thank you for your call.
All right.
Call me again.
Take care.
888-775-3773. We'll keep rocking these calls here. Let's get back to calls here in a sec. 888-775-3773. Now what else? What else here did I have? I think that's it with all that. Yeah. Let's get to Rick. Hey, Rick, Hampton, Virginia. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, Nick? What's going on with you, man?
All is well. No complaints. Happy Men's History Month.
Hey, happy Men's History Month to you all as well, man. And I like to say and I'm going to say it every day this month for Men's History Month. We need men to be strong, man. Stop being weak, man.
You heard it.
Starting to walk weak. You know what I mean?
You heard it from Rick. Stop that right now.
We need to stand up, take charge of our families. Stop being weak. Even when you see a couple walking, the man just looks so weak. You know, back in the day, how men used to be masculine, and you know they in charge. It's not about being a pharaoh or nothing. It's about that men, because with men not in order, man, everything goes out. Even in the animal kingdom, when the male leaves the family, they cut up, and when that male come back, they straighten up.
That's
so
right.
I like to say to all men, let's follow God and just pick up our strength and know who we are. And the question for you, Nick, is what's going on in Texas?
Yeah, I was hoping maybe you could help me a little bit. I got some details. Maybe you have others. I'm not sure what's going to happen or the even the deep significance, but I can maybe help you out a little bit here. I got some deets for you.
Man, I'm like, well, don't they, when it comes to drawing states, don't that happen every 10 years on the federal level?
So that's how I understand it as well. It's historically, traditionally like that. 10 years after a census, you kind of look at it all again.
Then you see all the population.
And see what you need to do there.
Either you gain, because every state is guaranteed 2 senators. And I think it's so much of a population. I don't know if it could be every 500,000 people there's a representative. I don't know, but so many people in a certain district creates a representative. Representatives are determined by the population. So when let's take like Alaska don't have that many people, so they just give them one. But, they get their 2 senators, but they give Alaska 1. So that's why most times you'll see Alaska with 3 as their electoral college, or even a representative. But Texas is trying to redraw their map, and I'm for what's right. I don't know why Texas is doing it so early. Now, maybe at the state level, if are they doing it for the state house? I mean, it's for the state legislature in Texas, but for the federal, that's done every 10 years, I thought. So my question is, why Texas is doing it so early?
So, I don't know either. I'm sorry to tell you. I just don't. I'm not even that familiar. I guess I'm really not even that familiar with the story. So I don't want to misinform you here, but I heard basically that. I did read somewhere where Trump is basically saying he I think in response to some of this, kind of saying why it's okay, saying that Republicans were entitled to 5 more seats, according to Politico, citing his record vote margins in the state. I don't know what's the justification for doing it early or whatever, but
see, that's what I need to know, because the say, to know what's going on, because the Democrats, they already they already out on the chain hollering racism.
Well,
already.
what I know, yeah, that's what I know. What I noticed was the response, right? I'm noticing the response here, and they want to first they're starting they're saying that we want to fight fire with fire, so they want to start they're starting redistricting things all in other states. There's hubbub in California, and they're going to redistrict. Oh, you want to take away 5 seats over there in Texas? We're going to take away 5 Republican seats in California. And so they're calling it, I'm seeing it in the news now, they're calling it redistricting wars. And so I'm seeing that response. I noticed that it's a bunch of no good people crying racism and saying, and stalling things. Hey, Rick, you coming in and out of your car? What's going on there? You might be at work.
Can you hear me now?
You there, Rick? We good?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
No, I hear you fine.
Okay, good.
So I was just saying, I don't know. It seems...
I don't know much about that either. I would like to know why Texas is counting their, I don't know, redrawing the districts?
Exactly, yeah. Because, populations change. Populations change. Huh?
No, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Because I was just saying, because populations change and all that, but I'm not familiar with any reasonings they gave, right? I'm not saying I know, but then I'm seeing these Democrats. They're stalling it. Apparently 50 of these House Democrats, right? They left Texas, and so you need those members there basically to go along with the process here. Their session, and so they're stalling the whole thing. And there are orders of arrests. These civil arrest warrants, according to ABC News.
And see, I heard once they redraw the districts, Jasmine Crooked may be unemployed.
I heard that too.
So that's why she's having a nuclear meltdown, probably. And,
that's right.
But I just want to like I said, I don't have a say in it right now, because I don't know why Texas is redrawing it. And to make sure I have everything understood, I always thought it was done every 10 years. So they just had one 2020, so the next one shouldn't be to 2030. My understanding. But there's some I don't understand. I tend to let stuff play out, man. Like, we'll just have a wait-to-see attitude. So that's what I tend to do.
I really don't know either. It's just,
play out.
I just kind of, call it speculating maybe even, which is maybe kind of, maybe you should be careful with. But I gather, these populations change. Things have been changing so fast. If they see some strategic thing they got to do, I say run it. These people, these people are not honest people. They don't. I'm just saying, Rick, that these people are not honest people. They don't want to run America well. They don't care about any of that. So I don't really care what they say.
I don't trust the Democrats and the Republicans. They're not much better. But I don't trust the Democrats at all, man. I just don't. Even when they twist stuff up, I always tell people, when you see a video, even like the Cincinnati issue. Now, I tell you what, the white guy threw the punch. I seen the full tape, and the white guy and the black guy first got into it. I think the guy, they say he may not even be from the state. I think he's Russian, I think. So
he looked a little possibly foreign.
Yeah, so him and one black guy was about to fight. So
you're saying you saw him
up.
In some video?
Say again?
You say you saw him in some video?
Well, I saw the full video
in Cincinnati.
The Cincinnati, yes.
And you saw.
And what happened?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
And
explain
what happened? Yeah, and the white guy and the black guy got into it. Then the black guy broke it up. Then after he broke that fight up, he went in and slapped a different black guy. That's when all hell broke loose. Now, all those other people that jumped in that fight, all should be arrested. The one who hit the woman that knocked her out, he should be arrested, and the white guy should be arrested. and he should be arrested because he assaulted somebody, and the black guy retaliated, and that's when everybody started jumping on him, kicking on him. So all those other people should be the one that had nothing to do with it should be arrested. The white guy should be arrested.
Yep.
And that's what it should be.
I thought I saw something like that too.
And guess what they holler? Racism. But I said, do the police have the full video? The police are just going off what they see. They trying to resolve the issue, but the police don't have the full video. Why don't whoever had the full video send it to the police department and they can better examine the case?
Yeah, well, I think they might be. I don't know if they will do it properly, but they're saying they want to investigate this and all that, but I forget who said that.
I mean, don't call it racism.
Some woman, though. Some woman police chief basically said that.
Oh God, and they liberal, most likely, and they not. I mean, they go. It's something what Jesse said earlier. He showed on his video. A girl got into it with her manager. Then she's gonna bring her parents up. And I'm telling you, man,
it was some lady. It was some. She was working, and she claims that she was called the N-word or something, and then she called her family. Her family shows up and starts harassing the guy, saying, "We better get the manager, fire him. Why is he still working here?" That video.
People shouldn't be fired because I tell people too, blacks are some of your most racist people. They say a lot of derogatory statements, but they keep blacks in that victim mindset through the public school system, through the liberals, and they just think it's okay for them to say it because they're victims.
Yep.
It's not the case,
Yeah, Rick.
It's definitely, and I'm like, when it comes to black and white, blacks want the person that used the N-word to be fired immediately. Now, what if it's the other way around? A black called a white person a derogatory statement. They're like, say, well, y'all racist. Whites, I like to see whites stand up for what's right. Stop being afraid. Most whites tend to want to be afraid, the liberal whites anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they have to keep the fuel going to me.
Yeah,
those are the liberal blacks. Because who run the Democratic Party is liberal females. That's it. Black, white, all colors. They run the Democratic Party. The women. That's why when they interview a man, I tell you, what's that? Ashley on CNN, they got Scott Jennings on there. If they take that man off, that show wouldn't even be worth watching.
It's like one guy and all these girls, all these women.
Yep.
I mean, Fox is like that, and the Republican Party too. Increasingly, it's just these like kind of nutty like women and with a chip on their shoulder Nancy Mace comes to mind, and they got this vendetta almost against what they're doing to women. It's terrible. They're basically liberals out there trying to call out the sexism in the Republican Party.
Yeah, I mean, it just you don't even see men in the Democratic Party. If they do have one, they have a transgender man or a man that's acting very feminine.
Who brings his wife around or something like that. I don't know why I'm thinking of Fetterman right now. But anyways,
I think he's been having thoughts about the Democratic Party. And, anything Trump do, they don't get a man credit for nothing, man.
Yeah, Rick, but that's how blind people are. They'll stay like that.
And,
and Trump will make America better for them, too.
And that's good, man. It's like we're so stuck in our mouth. Like John called the Hake Show earlier, and he was saying, tell Rick that Hamites are Ethiopia, and which is true. Then he come up and say, but the Israelites are Negroes. You don't find Negro nowhere in Scripture. With the King James, you don't find it in the C4 Bible, nowhere where they use Negro.
And what were they saying about Negro?
And he was saying that the Israelites were Negroes. John from Kentucky.
Israelites are Negroes, and he's getting that from the Bible.
No,
Where'd that word even come from?
Exactly. That's a Spanish word.
No, that was a
meaning dark.
question. Yeah, Negro.
You know,
where does it?
And he was saying the Israelites were Negroes. The descendants of Shem were Negroes. That's what he was saying. And I said, the Bible don't even use Negro. It's a commentary Bible. I believe he got it from a ministry, a lady that be on YouTube. I think it was Be Free and Yeshua or something like that, and she mentioned it. And then I looked at it. What's the difference between Negro and black? It means dark. Okay, so if you're trying to say the Hamites were black people, and then they're going to say the Israelites were Negroes, so you're trying to say they were black too.
It seems like they're saying the same thing. I see what you're saying now. Yeah, it's the same word essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just saying black. But, I mean, it's like a classification thing too. People like to differentiate, and they may even believe in the classification if there's enough validity in their minds, enough people saying it, the right kind of person teaching them. I don't know. But you're right. I mean, it's essentially the same word. But that, I mean, whatever. I guess the Israelites do like to separate themselves in that way. So, that's why you use those words.
Right, kind of make it seem like the Israelites, though.
Does that mean that not every black person is Negro? Is that what they believe or something?
What they're trying to say, that the Israelites were black people. That's what they're trying to say.
I definitely am familiar with them saying that. Well, Rick, man. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
No, man, I'm just saying thank you for your call, man.
Man, I'm glad you took my call there, Brother Nick, man. Love you guys, man. And I just say, man, the world is composed of everybody. You get all these different shades of people because everybody was intermingling with different colors of people. And different colors existed since Adam and Eve. And but blacks complain all the time that people try to eliminate them from the Bible. But since I've been walking this earth, most time I see blacks giving credit to blacks, most whites, and they're kind and I don't get that. I don't know where these blacks be meeting these white people at, but then again they train blacks look like through the public school system to always have suspicion when it comes to whites.
Yeah.
It just that's a learned behavior.
It really is a terrible teaching. It's a terrible thing.
Absolutely.
It's literally passing on anger in a very explicit way. How can it not be anything but evil? Man, Rick.
That's right.
Okay. We went through many topics there, Rick. I appreciate you calling this.
No problem, man. Love you guys, man.
Of
Be
course.
blessed, Nick, man. Try to call in tomorrow.
Always, Rick. Back at you, man. Call me again.
Be cool, my brother, man.
Amazing. Rick, thank you. Okay, we'll get right back to calls here. Yeah, Negro, dark. I mean, it comes from Spanish according to the AI. We got to be very careful with AI. I'm going to tell you every single time because we just got to be clear on this. If it's AI, where's the source, what it is, because this stuff lies. But anyways, Negro meaning black, which originates from the Latin word
Niger.
That's Latin. That's Latin, folks. Niger.
Niger.
And so, that's what it says. It says right here. Look, this is howtopronounce.com. You want to get mad at me? You want to get mad at me? That's howtopronounce.com. They tell you how to pronounce things. Okay, you're gonna get mad at the truth. But okay, yeah. Latin, the root word for black, Niger, as it tells me how to pronounce it. Iberian Peninsula. And that's what it is. Amazing. So I want to get back to calls, 888-775-3773. Right back to calls here in a second. Yeah, in fact, you know what? Let's get right back to calls here. We got Maze out of Dayton, Ohio. How you doing, Maze?
Hello, Nick.
Welcome, and happy Men's History Month.
Happy who?
Happy Men's History Month.
If that's what you want, if that's what your program is about.
For this month, yes.
But I don't celebrate in History Month.
Okay.
I only celebrate birthdays.
Well, I won't run you through the ringer. I know you wish me a happy Men's History Month.
But anyway,
in your heart.
It's not what I called about.
And
when you hear a person talking about the children of Ham. Don't have a clue who Ham's children were. Don't know nothing about the Bible. Don't know nothing about nothing, because the Bible that they carry is not the original Bible in the first place.
They didn't care about what in the first place?
I said they don't know nothing about the Bible and the children of Ham. I always want to argue, but then they're talking about these liberals and these Democrats. Liberals and Democrats the only people that they can say.
Are you talking about the Israelites?
No.
Because those are the ones who care and worry about the children of Ham.
I'm not an Israelite.
But I'm just wondering, who are you talking about? Because you're saying, why do these
these
people care about Ham, the
and
children of Ham, and they don't know anything about the Bible? I'm like, yeah, you sound like you're talking about the Israelites, right? Because they're the ones that care about this stuff
and when it comes
and are getting it wrong.
When it comes to the Ethiopians, what are they?
Are you talking about the Israelites? We'll get to the Ethiopians.
I'm saying when you hear people talking about the Bible and don't have a clue or nothing about it, or what the original Bible is and where it came from.
Who's that?
Because if he got a copy of the Ethiopian Bible, he'll find a whole lot of stuff that he don't know that was not even educated to his brain. And this educational system that we have in this country was based on whose education? I mean, whose standards was it based on?
So you're saying the Ethiopian Bible, like, added a bunch of stuff that's not in any other Bible?
Oh, there was a lot of stuff that they destroyed it.
And the Ethiopians added it all back?
What?
And the Ethiopians added it all back or something?
That's the original Bible.
The Ethiopian Bible is the original Bible?
Yes, it is.
And
the Crusaders came on and messed up like they messed up a whole lot of stuff.
So the Ethiopians were the first with the Bible?
What?
The Ethiopians were the first with the Bible?
Yes. It's just like Christianity did not start in America.
Well, yeah, we know that.
And a whole lot of people don't know that.
But Ethiopia is kind of a modern nation, no?
Or whatever. And then they have different tribes from different places.
Okay.
It's just like I went to the Native Americans. That's where I was, listening to y'all show, laughing, and then having a good time. And then they
nice.
have all
You're having a good time.
Yes. And when you ride across America, don't you see all the Cherokee, all these different names of rivers? They're not named after American people.
Mm-hmm.
They're named after Native American people. That's what those things are named
The white
from.
people did that.
No, they didn't.
No, they did.
If you want to thank it, do it.
No, they did.
Oh,
they were like, nice. This area was like, I know, like, for example, they did that in Canada, like Chippewa and that whole area up in northern Ontario. They're like, you know what, this area is like, we're just kind of like commemorating. I remember the camp council was telling us that they named it because they're commemorating all the like native stuff.
No, why those rivers?
And that's what white people do, by the way. They just,
I'm asking you a question.
Yeah, go ahead. My bad. I just wasn't done there. Now I'm done. And now I'm listening, Maze. My apologies.
Okay.
Good question.
So why are they named after them and not Caucasian?
Why is what named after them and not Caucasian?
Choctaw River, the Cherokee Rivers, and all these different places.
Some are and some aren't. It's a matter of history and a matter of how they like to name things.
I was wondering. And when it comes to Rick, he sounds like a broken record. Always talking about a Democrat and a liberal.
It's what he knows.
What?
It's what
That's
he knows.
all he knows.
Huh?
That's all he knows.
Some people know some things, and they're comfortable with that. It's like kind of like you, Maze. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's hard to say you know.
I'm asking you, what's the difference between a Democrat and a Republican?
At one point, kind of not that much. Increasingly
when you
more
hear
and more.
somebody spouting out that
more politically speaking.
Weird stuff, don't they realize that they have some weird they found?
You said what?
He was talking about, the
Say
black
that again,
people,
Maze. I missed it.
He's not speaking for all black people.
Who?
Rick.
Okay. I don't know if he said. I don't know if he ever said he was though.
Pro people.
I don't think he ever said he was though.
He always acting like
I gather he's kind of an individual. He doesn't go around talking for blacks. He talks.
What?
He talks for Rick.
Really?
That's what I gather from Rick.
If he was talking for Rick, he'll be talking about Rick.
Oh, and is that what Maze does? Does Maze only talk about Maze?
Excuse me? He always talking about black people that he don't know nothing about.
Does Maze only talk about Maze?
He's going to be European, and he's not going to fit in there.
And so what does Maze do?
I am an American Negro.
Who's allowed to speak about all
people.
people.
Put me here as one.
And you can speak about it all.
And I sure can, because I lived it all.
Right, just like Rick. How come you look down
on
Rick?
I don't need nobody to tell me what to do.
Why can't Rick be like that?
What to do and how to think. But people tell him what to do and how to think, because he always come out with this stuff that he don't heard them say. If you can't think for yourself, then you let somebody else think for you, right?
Like this, like the Ethiopian Bible, huh?
Yes.
like racism.
Well, you can look it up
like
and
racism
see.
and other
do your
people are
own
the
thing.
cause of my problems, right?
That's what I like.
That's so you're an individual and thinking for yourself.
Whose problem? Canada having a problem with America, isn't it?
Hmm? Well,
Isn't
let me
Canada
try to
having a
remember.
problem
What
with
were you
America?
even trying to say? We'll get to Canada in a sec, but what were you
Asking
trying
you
to say,
this question,
Rick?
Nick.
You're trying
That's
to say
where you were
what?
born, that's
How
where
were you
your-
looking down on? Oh yeah, you were saying why is he talking about the Shem and Ham in the Bible? But it's funny. I think it
Ham
may have
children of-
flown over your head, or maybe you just simply
No,
did
Nick,
not want to
my ham
respond.
children of curse.
You may have simply not wanted to respond, Maze, and I'm attempting again, out of ego possibly. But thanks for humoring me. Look, it's you saying, oh, these people that care about the Bible and Ham. You're talking about the Israelites, right? They're the ones who care so much about that. And it's not Rick. You were trying to describe Rick, but you were describing the Israelites and all the mad people, and kind of you too. Don't you see it like that?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying he is talking about something he had no clue of himself.
Like what?
Because the first church was in Antioch.
You said what?
Thinking the church was over here in America.
What about that?
So where the first church even started it.
Uh-huh. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this America
What
right
was
here.
the point of that?
So
Wait, hold on. What was the point of that?
What?
What was the point of
it,
the
he needs
first
to go to-
church? What was the first?
Before he opened up his mouth and talk about stuff he don't know nothing about.
But that's
what I
not
mean
a
by
response,
that. So,
Maze.
now, why
That's
is
not a
Canada
response,
having a problem
Maze.
with America?
That's not a response, Maze. Why is he wrong and what is he wrong about? I'm going to hold you to
No,
it.
you somewhere else. Now,
You got to
that's-
pick one
so,
thing and say what it is that he's wrong about and why. Pick
Everything that
one
he-
thing. Because you're just saying,
liberal
you just got to
and a
go.
demo-
You didn't go to Antioch, so you don't know what you're saying about the Bible.
Oh, I haven't
and
seen
you're
it.
just going to do a drive-by like that?
No.
I'm
How
going to
you
hold
know
you
I
to
haven't
it just
been
a
there?
little bit. Thanks for the patience. I'm going to hold
I've
you to
been
it.
there. The reason I know.
What is he wrong? What was he wrong
Jesus.
about?
And that's why I know about the history of it. So if you haven't been there and you want to sit and let somebody else fill your head with stupidity, that's your problem.
You said what?
And I'm not Israelite either.
Okay,
So
she
as
won't
I
answer.
said,
What was the
I-
thing? What did you want to say? She will
I'm
not. She
asking
will
you.
not
I have a-
answer that. She will not answer. We cannot.
Answer what question?
Wild Maze.
I did.
Huh?
I did answer the question.
No, you did not pick something to that
He's
Rick is
when he
wrong
always
about.
talking about
You're just kind of talking around it
or
and saying
liberal.
he should go
Liberal.
to Antioch. Just say one thing, just
I say
quickly
go.
because of time. One thing he's
I
wrong
said I've
about,
been
and
there.
say why.
I said I've been there. So that's why I know the history of it.
Okay, whatever. Going
Now,
on.
good enough. So now why is Canada and America having it out?
They're trying to play tough guys with the toughest of the guys, and
Really?
that's not going to go so well.
And who's doing this? And the black people not doing this and causing this problem. Who's doing it?
What's that matter?
You're doing it. You see, y'all want to say you love Trump.
I think
love
blacks
Trump.
are in the
White
government
is
up there in
doing-
Canada, Maze. They're
The
kind
last time
of
Trump
they're
did
kind of
something
the
for
few
America.
blacks in the government up there in Canada though are getting
They don't like
pushed
black
out
people
by
in
the
Canada
Indian. I hear.
in certain parts.
You said what?
What?
But anyways,
Canada
what do you
don't
got to
care
say
for-
about Canada? Come on, we
people
know
don't
there's a
care nothing
tariff war. We're familiar
Some
with.
people in
with
Canada don't care nothing about Negroes neither.
And what do you say that? Why do you say that?
That's the way of the way y'all think.
The
If you can put
Canadians?
yourself in that group.
Wait, what are you
The
talking
European
about?
Americans, they all together, all around the world.
What group are you talking? You're saying the Canadians hate blacks? What are you saying here, Maze?
Some of them do.
And why are you saying that?
Maybe you have experience with them. That's how you know.
I think we may have misunderstood.
want the world to hate
We
black
either
people.
misunderstood each other, or you're being ridiculous, Maze.
But
Why are
you
you
want-
bringing up? Why are you bringing up the possible black hate in
Because
Canada? What's the point of that?
your foot is in Canada and America.
Why do you say that?
That's where your mother and sister and stuff at.
So you don't know what you're talking about. You're just
That's what
taking
they
you're just
said.
taking
They
some
live in Canada.
facts that I talk
She
openly
was on the
about.
edit.
You're just
I don't
you're just
forget
taking
nothing.
facts that I talk openly about and making
Okay,
assumptions about
so
me.
you want to play that game, Nick? Play the game. Have a
I
good
don't know
time.
what game we're playing. You sincerely lost
you
me.
playing
Maze.
the game.
You sincerely lost me. Why are you talking about
I asked you,
racists
why
in
was
Canada? Explain to
America
me.
and Canada
I missed
having
the
a
point.
problem? Why
Right,
are they having a
tariffs
problem?
between Trump. It's a political thing. It's tariffs. Why are you
Is
bringing
it
up
political? Should it be?
racists?
Should it be?
Maze, it sounds
I'm
like you don't know
asking
what
you.
you're talking about.
Should it be a problem?
What is?
It's never been a problem before.
Right, because it was
Then when they were mad with the
right
French,
because
they
it
wanted
was
to get the
status
French
quo.
right. He will not follow
Maze,
people that.
Tell me
stuck on-
what is wrong about the tariff war between Canada and America.
You tell me what's good about it.
So you don't know.
No, I want you to explain to me.
So you have no clue. You don't even know anything
I
about
don't have a clue.
what's
Now
going
make
on
me
there.
give me a clue.
Huh?
Give me a clue so I can understand.
They're having a
You run
tariff
around
thing.
here, a liberal and a Democrat, and they all
Right,
working
right.
together.
They had a basically it was one way for. Let me just explain simply. It was the trade between Canada and America was one way for a while, and some people were happy with that. And Trump comes in and says, "You know what? That's not good for us," and he's changing it, and people are unhappy about that. That's pretty much what's going on.
So now, since you know since you think about that, what part of the government is that president supposed to be playing?
You said
Is
what?
he supposed to be making bills and changing and bullying people because he can't have his way?
No. He's supposed to be doing this. No, this is definitely.
Down there, melanin Texas business, which he has no business down there, trying to get them to do something, gerrymandering and all this stuff that they did before a long time ago, trying to repeat history. It needs to stop.
No.
One day y'all gonna wake up and realize that you just stuck out there with the rest of the people in Lane Land, not even understanding what's going on with you.
You've been saying that forever.
Y'all gonna be a ship you're gonna be a wrecked ship without a boat, without a paddle.
You keep saying that.
I keep saying that.
It's only up. It's only up. It's already hell. You keep saying that and wishing more hell when there's all sorts of people that in America that call this show that are looking at Trump and they're like, you know what? I'm just gonna make my life a little bit better, and I'm not gonna listen to Maze, and I'm not gonna listen to Maze.
What? I'm saying.
Yeah, you heard me. Whoever heard me heard me.
What president have you ever seen doing what this one is doing? We don't have a Congress. You got them scared to death. Then you got the Supreme Court. They scared to death. They're not even doing their job. Defamation of character should be sued, and we should turn around and sue them too. Because they always think that black people are begging for stuff, and who the one that's begging? You look at all those people in his cabinet. You don't see no black people that get no government funding.
Wow.
But it's us begging. So now we see what affirmative action look like. I told you years ago what affirmative action look like, what we're looking at today. Project 2025, and it's not going to work.
So what's your question for me?
What? I just asked you why we were having problems with people.
I have problems with people?
It never happened before.
Oh, why? Trump has problems.
Using a tariff. This is like
no, again,
Al-Qaeda.
you don't understand that. It's
one country use a
little bit of pain and people
like
saying I don't like this is not a sign of anything. You just
I need to get it
you're
together.
just looking at you're freaking out, Maze.
I'm not freaking out. Y'all, I'm
you're
looking at
panicking, Maze. You're panicking because at the first person saying, "Oh my God, this is bad," you're like, "Yeah, this is bad." So you're panicking, Maze.
No. I'm saying you're
Stay
not
out
looking
of
at.
It's gonna be. It's like the stocks. It's like the economy is the economy is like
the economy is what?
What I'm saying is it's something that you with someone who's emotional, like doesn't have a solid foundation, maybe a woman or whatever. It's kind of thing. It's kind of an arena you want to stay out of because it's up, down, up, down. And if you're not stable within, it's like you're right. You're going to be with the emotions, and you think, and you're going to think it's news. You're going to think it's news. You're going to think it's what's happening with the economy, and it's just not.
No, so like I'm saying, like when the news, you're only gonna get one type of news, like from Fox. All the other stations that were sued, they're gonna go the same way. You only can get the news through one group of people, and then you're gonna run like Henny Penny with a news that makes no sense. They're not keeping America together. You're pushing America away from the rural. And when you get pushed away from the rural and nobody else want to do business with you, y'all gonna lose your mind.
Says you.
Guess what? Some people just sit back looking at you and listening to you. A liberal and a Democrat, and they work together.
You listen and watch.
Nobody's working to make a change for this country.
But you listen and watch.
That's why you had a constitution that you don't even abide by.
But you listen and watch, Maze.
And don't even like the laws that they have in this country. And then you got the nerve to talk about the
But
history
you listen, right, Maze?
But
maybe I misunderstood
just
you.
telling you the truth, and if you don't like it, that's not my problem.
Oh, well.
And you see all these storms and all these different things that's happening. Might not be nothing for America to have. Might just be a land of just land full of water. Where Earth done took over what you took from them. Nature. What you took from nature is coming back to get it.
Broken record.
And it ain't gonna miss the liberal, it ain't gonna miss the conservative. He gonna get them too.
Same old story. Maze,
not gonna miss
it true?
the black man, and they're not gonna miss the Caucasian man either. They're gonna get them too.
Oh.
When the reality hits you,
that's nasty.
You're gonna see in the evil ways and the different evil things that are being done.
Are you wishing hell and harm?
I'm not wishing nothing. I'm just telling you what nature gonna do to you.
That's nasty, Maze.
It's nasty because the truth.
You're gleeful almost. I see you smiling. Maze.
It's funny to me.
Terrible. Yeah, I know it's funny to you.
To me.
Maze,
when people can't do right and get things straight,
you're supposed to be like kind of lovable and
it's so lovely to see.
You're supposed to be kind of lovable, Maze. This is really nasty.
Things that God put here.
Anyways, Maze, call me again.
And it don't belong to man. That's what I'm trying to say. So as he take it away, y'all will be having a fit, screaming and hollering.
Terrible, Maze.
And I know it's terrible, but it's something to hear and think about.
All right, Maze. You're supposed to be this lovable Maze.
I am lovable.
I don't know, Maze. That's really nasty.
The truth.
You turn
and
nasty.
And to get the ignorance out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you mistreat people...
You're a Christian, right?
No.
That's right, I forgot.
Don't put that on me.
Don't you dare put that on me.
Don't put it on me.
Love all people? Psh, don't you dare put that on me.
But you don't follow no matter
don't
he
you
put on
dare.
Earth. One day you're going to wish you would have. Keep on showing your little movies about black people and crying black people.
What have I even talked about?
Oh, yeah, I think I did talk about black people. They're going to come and take it all away from you. You're going to be on the street and just like y'all see those people over there in Palestine. But it ain't going to be by the same
silly,
method. It's going to be a different method.
You're being silly. Call me again.
Huh?
I said you're being silly with that one.
I believe in nature and the things that nature do.
Angry people, their lives get worse. It's that simple.
Feel it with your own ass.
Blame your life gets worse.
Come on lake, on a river.
Call me again, Maze.
Used to be.
Have a good day.
You have one too, and don't be afraid of it. Live life and be happy. And Rick, go sit down somewhere without that crap you dealing with. You and William. Have a good one.
Bye, Maze. 888-775-3773. We shall have a moment of silence. Just a little space. Return. Your little movies. Your little movies. I think these are like news stories, like clips, IRL clips. They're not movies. But anyways, I want to get back to some more calls here. And we got some other things for you. How about we keep the energy going? We got John, Kentucky. How you doing, sir? You're on the air.
Hey, man, you done cooled off since last time I called you?
What are you talking about?
You hung up in my face last time I called you.
Oh, I don't remember that. What happened? What'd you say?
You said I was getting on your nerves about the Epstein story, and you said if you don't ask me a question right here.
Oh yeah. I think you were being silly. I forget what it was, but
no, I wasn't being silly. But the next,
if I remember, no. I think you were being silly.
but listen though, you hung up on me in the middle of a question. I was asking a question.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
If I remember, you weren't.
I had to go back.
I was like, ask me a question, and you did it, and I gave you like a lot of leeway when I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna hang up," and I did it. If I remember, but whatever.
Yeah, but you hung up on the middle.
Mincing words. Who cares? How about you forgive, John? It's time to forgive and forget, John.
You hung up on the middle.
It's time to forgive and forget, John.
Huh?
It's time to forgive and forget, John.
Yeah, I don't really care.
It sounds like you care.
Huh?
It sounds like you care. Let's forgive and forget, man.
Man, I thought it was hilarious, man. You were so pissed, man. I'm telling you. I watched it more than one time.
Oh, really? You watched it more than one time?
It was hilarious, man. You were pissed, man. You were mad.
I mean, that's what crazy people do. They're like, let me watch when he got mad and let me like confirm what my mind is telling me. But hey,
crazy person.
That's what crazy people do. That's what crazy people do. John, what's your question or comment?
Rick, he was acting like he didn't understand what I was saying. I'm saying as clear as day, whether you agree with it or not. The source is the Zandervan Bible Dictionary. And the author was J.D. Douglas, the guy who wrote the Zandervan Bible Dictionary. And he specified in the Zandervan Bible Dictionary that the Negroes were not a part of Ham. We were set apart from them. Egyptians, African. Ethiopians, African. Cushites, African. But not the Negroes. And I appreciate you playing that Niger, however you want to say it.
Niger.
But yeah, that's another example
Latin.
Of how we know we are the Israelites, because they called us that in the Bible. They called us Israelites that.
They did?
So if Israelites were,
in that one Xander Bible?
No, in the actual Bible.
They call the Israelites what?
Niger, Niger. Same thing y'all call us today.
You mean there's scripture that says that?
Yeah.
And it says what?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find. I can't tell you off the top. It was just referring to Israelites as Niger. Just refer to them as that. You've had a caller call in.
What scripture says that? What scripture says that?
I don't know, man. I can't look it up right now. But you got a laptop in front of you. Look it up.
Yeah, it's saying there is no scripture that refers to the Israelites as Niger.
Did you look up the Niger?
Yeah.
In the Bible?
That's correct.
So you're gonna have to read it to get the context of it then.
Maybe. I'm just helping. I'm hoping giving you the floor to educate us.
Well,
it says it's not true.
In the Bible.
It says it's totally. It says it's completely not true.
Well,
made up.
That's what you're saying.
That's what it's saying here, man.
But is Niger not in the Bible?
It says there are no scriptures that refer to the Israelites as Niger.
Well, as a white person, a racist white person.
I don't know. Maybe this is wrong. I'm giving you the floor to educate us. Well, sounds like you don't know either.
No, I'm just letting you know
you
what
built
I've
your
learned
belief
about.
on this that could be challenged in a mere Google.
Yeah. Go to the Zendervan Bible Dictionary on Google. Yeah.
So we got to go to a specific book that you read. You got to go to the Xander guy. We don't know. So Xander is your God.
Yeah, he's not my God. He's
You said yeah.
Actually,
Xander, what's his name?
You talk so much.
Xander what?
Give me tongue tie. Zendervan Bible Dictionary.
So Zendervan is your God.
Hey man, quit saying that. Is Jesse your God?
Bro, no,
Is Jesse your God?
No.
I
merely idolize him, which is a character flaw.
But listen, like I was saying on...
you know what I'm saying?
Say again.
I said I merely idolize him, which is a character flaw.
Which is a sin as well.
Of course. But you don't even know what I meant by that.
You'll
judge me. You don't even know what I really mean.
You don't
even know what I really mean. I'm talking to my audience right now. Hold on. He'll never know. He'll never know what I meant by that. And he's already judged me what that means in his mind. So you know how that is, right, folks? Crazy.
Who is you?
So what were you saying? What did you just say, John?
I said, who is you? You said you will never know.
Huh?
You said you'll never know is what you said, right?
No, I was talking to my audience.
Oh, that's how you refer to your audience as you?
Yeah, I was just talking to, they'll understand because I was saying you, them. But anyways, what were you saying? Let's go on. Your question or comment, sir?
Look it up. I said, even if you don't agree with it, does it not say in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary about the progenitor of the dark races?
I'm not familiar with the Zondervan Bible.
Well, you look up everything.
It sounds like
else.
a book that you are into. And you're like, but the Zondervan Bible says this. I'm like, yeah, nice, bro.
It just shows you that we're not Ham, that we're Shem.
I guess, because the Zondervan Bible said it.
That's not coming from a black person, a so-called black person.
There might be, because the Zondervan Bible said it. Like, I don't know. I just don't know. We know what that is. But hey, that's what you believe in. I just don't know, man.
Well, I don't
can
know
there, speaking here, are all dark-skinned races speaking here maybe scientifically or something. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I am thinking out loud here. Like, I don't think skin color is race. I'm just saying, I'm just kind of speaking out loud. Like, I'm sure you can tie many genealogies that you can say are similar skin colors, but if you look at the genealogy or some history here, they might differ a little or maybe even a lot, even though they share a skin color.
We don't go by.
So I'm not being obtuse about that. It's just whatever, man. You don't know what you don't know where you are. We barely anybody now knows what they are.
Go ahead. Say what now?
I said, you don't know what you are.
Well, that's been a problem amongst so-called American blacks. We don't know who we are, right? So, you have all these different, what's the word, I guess, ideologies, I guess. You have black people thinking they're Muslim. They think they're Christian. Now I feel like we're Israelite because that's the one we match up with best inside the story of the Bible. We went through the same history as the Israelites. But Muslim, no. Christianity, no. That's y'all's religion. But I want Rick to know it's not about skin color because if a black man has a kid with a white woman and the kid comes out light-skinned or even really super bright, they're still a so-called black. You see what I'm saying? So it's not skin color. It's who your father is. And we do feel like we're Israelites, and it's not just the Negroes. You know, it's Mexicans, it's Puerto Ricans, it's Jamaicans.
This is where you make this huge leap, folks, because he sounded reasonable, right? He's like, race and genealogy. Hold on, John. Race and genealogy is like it's deeper than skin color. It's like, wow, it's reasonable. I mean, it's about your father. It's about a genealogy thing, right? It's deeper than skin. It's like, duh. And then he makes this huge leap, and then that's why the Tainos and the blacks and whatever are Israelites. It's
I didn't even say Tainos.
But thank you, man.
Tainos. That's how you know. Like I know
Didn't you call me
that?
Didn't you call me that?
No,
Aren't
man,
I your Taino brother?
You're a Spaniard. I found out you was a Spaniard.
Oh, really? I'm not a Taino brother? What makes me not a Taino anymore?
Your spirit, man.
Oh, and how come I was a Taino before?
You know what you want to be, though, right?
What?
You tell me.
It sounds like you
if
know.
If you could be born again.
Sounds like you know me.
Yeah, I do. You want to be white so bad.
So why am I not a Taino?
So bad.
Just out of curiosity and time, sir. Quickly, come on.
Because you based it on your father. And
okay.
I know you say you don't know your father, but you said
But my father's the Cuban.
One time. But did you say he was the Spaniard kind though?
No. We don't know that. We don't know. Maybe the Spaniard in me comes from my mother's side. She's a Cortez.
Well, if that's the case, you're just a lost brother out there.
So you've been treating me like this because I'm not a Taino?
What do you mean treating you like? I don't treat you like anything.
You hate? Huh?
You said what?
Rude.
I don't hate anybody. I don't hate anybody. You almost.
I'm messing with you, John. All right, man. Last question or comment?
Yeah. Last question or comments. Comment is I love what's going on right now in the world. Everything's flipping upside down, and you guys are destroying each other right now. And we're going to continue that until the Lord comes back, and then we're going to rule over y'all. That's what the Bible says.
Thanks for your comment, John. Appreciate your call. Come again.
Yep.
What a psycho. Damn. What a psychopath. He's sitting there like on his armchair like, you're just destroying yourselves. I'm like here worried about my show. And I'm like, why am I worried about my show? What a silly thing. And then I'm like living my life. You guys are sitting here destroying yourselves. What a psychopath. You guys are psychopaths too. Why do you guys still care about this? What is wrong with you sick, psychopathic, violent people who wish to see violence? How come I'm scrolling down CNN? And again, it says we get another story about the Titan submersible. And we'll get back to calls here. Lines filling up, 888-775-3773. U.S. Coast Guard report identifies causes of Titan submersible's deadly implosion. Now, the one I read was this. Where was it? You kind of ruined my story, CNN. It was funnier because it was just a headline that says something like, reports say Titan submersible crew died instantly. And I'm like, yeah, we've been knowing that. You told us like countless headlines for, it must be years now, of this Titan submersible submarine that went down there, and it was controlled by a Mad Catz video game controller, and it's like, it was a little rickety maybe, and it ends up imploding and killing them instantly, and all the animations came out, and the videos came out, and it continues to stay in the news. What's up with y'all? Because clearly CNN is just doing what clicks. They're like, let's put it out. Let's put it out again. People love seeing this implode. People love seeing them get crushed. Oops, sorry. So I don't know what's wrong with y'all. You guys love to see destruction. Bertie Barbarai says that in the chat. You just love destruction, okay? And it's not like I watched the simulation they had in this video right here like 5 times already. I didn't do that. I mean, maybe I kind of did that for the news. It's for science, it's because it's my job. But you people are just sick, man. I don't know why this story keeps coming up. again with the Ocean Gate implosion, and they died instantly, and they were atomized. They became a pink mist. It's just the pressure that it was like buildings crushed them instantly. You people are sick. So obviously this story keeps coming back up, and it will keep coming back up. So let me get to some calls. Got some nice calls here. What else? What else here? We'll get back to news and stories if we got time. I'd like to get to Anthony out of SoCal. Appreciate your call. You're on the air.
Hey, Nick. Thanks for having me on, man. Can you hear me okay?
Of course. Coming in loud and clear. Thanks.
Awesome, man. Sorry, what was the name of your last caller?
John. That was John out of Kentucky. Kentucky John, as I think they call him sometimes.
Oh, really?
Anyways, not important. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to have a discussion with him and kind of pick his brain. I just, man, I don't even know where to start with that, man. Do you know, like, man, I don't know where to start. Where's he get these ideas from exactly? Is it? Because it sounds like you talked to him for a bit. I mean, is this like?
You know what's actually funny about that is, it's a little bit disjointed. Actually, I should have my own conversation with John and ask him myself about things. Because I'm really just piecing stuff together. I've heard maybe on the Hake Report. He's called me a number of times over the years. I think not that regularly, I got to say, but I gather he's kind of into the Israelite thing. I mean, he called me once. Like his Israelite, like one of the tribes, that I descended from one of these tribes. And they believe that basically the Negro, like he said, that they are the true Israelite, right? The ones that, the ones in the Bible, I guess. I think that means like the Jews or whatever.
Oh.
I just don't want to say exactly what he believes. I just don't really know, I forget exactly. I really don't remember all my calls, I got to say. Like I have I do a running like a character sheet on them. I do forget a bit.
Oh, that's legit. Like a little CRM system.
You know what I mean? No, I don't got that going. We might need it though.
That's legit. I mean, I do the same thing if I was in your profession. Cause I mean, so he's considered like a Hebrew Israelite. Is that what they call it?
I don't know. I don't want to say. He might be. Like these black Hebrew Israelites, right? BHI or whatever, into this notion of the Negro being the Israelite. I think that's as far as we could say. What made you call in about it?
I want to make comment about the Zondervan Bible he was talking about, but primarily isn't that just like a spin-off of the British Israelite movement? Are you familiar with that?
What? No, I'm not. You got to tell me about that.
Yeah. It was, let me think. His name is some white British name, Wilson, I think. Something Wilson. He was either English or Scottish, I forget, but he wrote this book. It was like Israelite origin or our Israelite origin. I think that's what it was. And
wow.
Did you find it?
I think so, but go on.
Yeah, so it's basically when I hear this Black Hebrew Israelite religion or whatever, or cult is more appropriate, it is exact. They basically took the framework of the British Hebrew Israelites, which is in the same way like this elitist, not elitist, but this hyper selective group of people that are really the Israelites or whatever. But it was a bunch of white people in Britain that were doing it, or maybe it was Scotland. I forget.
Anglo-Israelism.
That's Anglo-Israelism, exactly.
British Israelism, Anglo-Israelism. This is somewhat fascinating to me. And maybe I'm hyping it too much. It's just I can't help but notice that the machinations of that you see today someone already thought of it, and they're really just remixing a framework from before. Like if you look at the black, the race hustlers, right? Like Al Sharpton, etc. You know, they really. I notice if you just kind of pay attention, maybe learning about stuff, they have their tactics from like the communists, from like the grievance people stuff, the Holocaust stuff. Like they know how to run that stuff because they're drawing on a framework that's already done.
Dude, that's exactly how I see. And I mean, I kind of feel, I mean, I don't want to get in my imagination or anything, but I mean, at some level, I kind of feel bad for him because you could kind of hear how he's like, he says, "Oh, Muslim? No, that's not us, man. Oh, Christian? No, that's you guys, man.
Yeah.
We're this." You know, it's this weird, like, it's kind of like elementary school psychology, I remember, where, you know, if you're cool, you do this thing. If you're not cool, you do that thing. But it's just on a theological level. And the exclusionary nature of it, and as you mentioned, the bitterness and resentment towards non-members of the group or the tribe, it's you know, John, I mean, if he's listening, man, dude, I think it's a bunch of hogwash, bro. And I think you should really look at the fact that this movement that you're in is just a copycat of what the white Brits did when they were in their feelings, you know, a few hundred years ago. And I don't really think God cares about who your dad or your mama is, you know, or what color you are. And it's weird because he says it's not about color, but he talks about, oh, the Puerto Ricans and the whatever. They're part of us too because they fit our storyline. It's like, and then he talks about how he has no identity or he doesn't know who he is. Like you asked him, "Who are you?" Like, right. I don't know. A bunch
that
of
was
us
interesting,
don't.
Right?
That is, you know, that
he had
was
no answer to that. But yeah, he was like, I'm an Israelite and I'm all that, but you don't really know what you are. He's like, yeah, we don't. That's the problem. We don't know.
That's, you know, that's true. I mean, but at the same time, dude, like, I would say the majority of Americans, like, if you live in America and your family came here over the last, like, 50 to 100 years or whatever, you don't know your origin either. Like, I don't think you understand. It's not just black people. Like, my family's from Egypt. We had to move here because of religious persecution. I don't know my origin. Like, I'm totally separated from my origin, from my culture, my family. I'm sure you have, I don't know who else, you know, every other group that comes here is in the exact same boat, bro. But it's still better in America than anywhere else in the world. And the fact that, and I hate to talk about John specifically, but in general, like, if you're trying to find your identity in a framework that requires the destruction of others just because you're salty that you can't relate to your origin, bro, welcome to the club, man. But no one else wants to, like, kill everyone else or watch them die or suffer. Like, it's just concerning. It's concerning because it's like I've never heard this level of, like, entitlement and resentment being justified and rationalized through a religious framework or book, you know?
It's explicit how he puts it too. He's saying, I love what's happening. We're going to be on top. And that's funny that he thinks that, you know, that all these people, if the chaos he's describing is true, that somehow this will turn into blacks being on top or ruling anything. It's going to turn into hell for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he's missing the point. I mean, it's like, sure, you know, we do our best to preserve, like, our language, like, after the Arabs and, like, after Islam started getting traction, you know, they eradicated anything that smelled Christian or had any Christian in it. So our language we were colonized, eradicated by the Muslims. We're not complaining. We do our best to keep the language still alive, but when I think of my identity, this is kind of how I relate to Jesse in a sense, in a little bit of his teachings. It's like my identity, it's like I'm a son of God. You know, God is my father. You know, one day I'll return back to my father. We'll all return back to our father. You know, we all have the same father. That's who we are. You know, and if you don't like that, if instead you need blood to make it right, then dude, you're lost, man. I don't know what else to say, John. It's just not right, dude.
It's not. It definitely doesn't seem right when it's from the spirit it comes from. If we can agree on that.
It's an evil spirit, dude. It reminds you sound just like a Muslim, bro. It's this exclusionary. Oh, you're a Jew, you're a Christian, you're screwed. We're gonna take over, and you know you'll suffer. It's kind of like yeah, man.
It's an old trick. That's the kicker. It's like an old snake oil trick. It's an old trick that someone else read about. They were sitting around reading. They're like, oh, I could do that. Wait, hold up. I can run my cult. And I think what we're describing here is I guess in a way, the true definition of a cult. It's like Jesus came years ago, said, okay, the kingdom of heaven is within. You know, it's about you and God. And then literally right after, it's been just cults ever since, right? And some of them got big. Some of them got huge. And we don't call those cults, right? They're just society. They're just religion. But, you know, and then they'll call other things cults. Oh, that's a cult. That's terrible. But that's what it's been going on from the beginning. It's like tricks, how to use information and rule it over others. And it's in the same trick over and over.
Dude.
How to like trick people in that way. It's someone else. And then it's just someone else, someone down the road, someone, they'll piece together some truths, half truths, some truths. I mean, when you're quoting the Bible, you can't help but do that, right? So you start piecing this information that you've collected over the years, man has collected over the years. Some of it makes sense, some of it even helps, and that kind of locks people in. It kind of hooks people in a little bit. They feel a little bit better, but it's just another Scientology. It's just another cult. It's another framework that was already tried before. You're in a trick. You're in a genjutsu, John.
That's a funny.
You're in a genjutsu by Zondervan, whoever this guy is.
Yeah, some white dude that, pandered to your imagination. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's, and I mean,
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, maybe one last note I want to make. You know, and I don't make a big deal out of this, but I just want to correct people because of certain narratives, harmful narratives, going around in America, you know, with this Cleopatra's black type thing, even though she's white as snow, she's Greek. But just to counter that a little, there is this old depiction. It was copied from a tomb. It was like 1200 BC. Let me have it saved somewhere, but it's basically the races of the Egyptians, it was a portrait of the rate of races around the Egyptians, and it'll show like an Egyptian, a Phoenician, like a Sudanese, Nubian, and like a Libyan. And I think Libyans are Berbers. And it will have them juxtaposed next to the Egyptian. And the Egyptians had this mural in some tomb, and it shows that Egyptians were, you know, a bit brown or a bit like olive, you know, as Hake would say. And then you have the Nubians, the Sudanese Nubians, who are darker. You have the Libyan Berbers, who are pretty white. And you have the Phoenicians, who are pretty white. So when he makes this comment like Egyptians are black, I just have an issue with that because when I look at my ancestry and my DNA, it says I'm 99% Egyptian and Coptic Egyptian, which is actually different than Egyptian. So Coptics Egyptian have their DNA traced back to ancient Egypt, like pre-dynastic Egypt, like pure Egyptian. And that's different from modern Egyptian. And I'm not black at all. I have like black features, like my nose looks a little black.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Interesting.
a bit like, yeah, I have like some black hair, I guess, as they'd say. It's a bit like people thought I wore a do-rag in middle school, but my hair was just naturally wavy, you know, type thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
You
so
woke up with waves.
yeah, dude. Yeah, man. And all the kids were all the black kids were like, bro, where's your do-rag at, man? I'm like, what's that? Like, I didn't even know what it was.
It's not exactly totally like black hair.
Yeah. It's not totally like it, but it's
interesting.
You
Man.
know, it's
You're basically telling me like Egypt like it was a multi-ethnic. I mean, it had a lot of history. It wasn't just like a nation that had one type of people. I mean, it has a history of conquering and changing, and so it was multi-ethnic,
Exactly.
and so
it's not a monolith. Thank you, Nick. Yeah, I'm just trying to say that it's not like this monolith where it's like Marx says, oh, they were, you know, like these races create these civilizations. I don't agree with that idea, because I agree with one of your callers. His name was Aaron, I think, which I remember because he said he was Ethiopian. He made. I'll end on this, Nick. Our Western civilization. Won't you say that it's like one of the like it's unique? Like no one outside of America has created something like America. You know, it's like the way we see civilization today. Our standards for civilization are so high today that it's kind of unfair for us to say, well, this people group never did it here and this people group never did it there. We're kind of on a whole another level here, you know.
Are you saying that what we have here can only pretty much it's temporal, like it exists now because it had to exist now, and it's in this time point in history. It could only exist. America could only have existed when it came about. You're saying?
Exactly. Yeah, and I think that's
Possibly.
the point Aaron was making a few weeks ago. I'm not sure exactly what if that was his name or not, but I just remember he was Ethiopian, and he made a good point. It's like, you know. Yeah, they created civilizations, but they were probably mud huts, you know.
I gotcha.
No one, though, is creating something like America. You know, that's
it seems like it, man. Seems like nothing like it, right?
Yeah, man, we're blessed.
Well, thank you, Anthony. I appreciate your call, man.
Oh, thanks for listening, Nick. Thanks for your time, and have a great week, man.
Take care, sir. 888-775-3773. Thank you so much. Amazing calls here. We'll just keep it rolling here. Thank you, Harmony, for the union dues. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Hashtag union dues. We got Birdie Bound Brian says space is so important. We appreciate the support, everybody. Always. Thank you, Buddy. Thank you, Jules, Techo, Mono, and everybody over on Rumble. Appreciate that. Incredible. And we got some amazing coffees here from Jermaine, man. Thank you for that. I think, shout out to Jermaine, man. Appreciate that. Buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby. It reads here, hey, Nick, happy Men's History Month. Just showing my support. You and crew are needed. Man, thank you for that. When it comes to Mr. Beast, he doesn't truly care about these people. He's using them. He helps them, but it's really to help himself. If he genuinely cared, he wouldn't need to make videos showcasing his so-called good deeds. Now, instead of becoming self-reliant, these people will wait around for handouts, growing weaker and more dependent. You know, I agree with a lot of that, Jermaine, in just this general notion on what we think is help. I mean, hasn't the world been trying to help Africa? There's a lot of corruption. It's like, what is this money being used for, et cetera? But I gather Mr. Beast, you know, I don't really know. I get this impression that he's not really the let me save the world type. He's more like the, wait, you're telling me I can monetize building wells? You know what I mean? Like, it's like a business thing. And maybe it does some good on the side. It's kind of what I gather. I could be wrong. I don't really think too much about Mr. Beast. I mean, he really is just doing this charity thing, and I don't know if that helps. Side note, going off a different way here, Jermaine, if I may. Thinking about Albert Schweitzer here and those men thinking a little bit about maybe even Rudyard Kipling, right? He made some poem kind of like that, right? And I don't know what I'm talking about here, folks. Let me be clear. This is like way before me. Just kind of speaking out loud, but consider for a moment that, like, put it like this. I mean, the Christians, even how wrong they are and all their charity and all this stuff, at some point in time, I guess tell me who else has taken it upon themselves to say, hey, there are hungry people. There are people who can't build wells, like, for whatever reason. And they're like, my Christianity compels me to do this. Like, it's just kind of a different view, right, of what people are thinking. Maybe now I'm just kind of really rambling here, but like, sure, maybe this like AIDS stuff is crazy now, but that spirit, I wonder where that came from. I don't know if it's totally negative. This, I don't know, idea that you have some kind of responsibility to the world. Anyways, Jermaine says another coffee here. The woman who called herself the female Trump is a clear example of the growing number of women chasing power and leadership. Nancy Mace. Hell of a gal. But what happens when Trump is no longer there to keep things in check? Emotions will explode and it'll be chaos, hell on earth. You have to wonder, was she in an abusive relationship with her husband? Either way, she's definitely an undercover feminist, no doubt about it. Perfectly said, man. What's going to happen? You know, Trump's out of the way. You know, these women are like waiting to call Republicans sexist. They're like, how to grab power. It's really sick, you know? And I know politics is like that. I'm sure they're all doing that. But it's like the women are like rabid with it. They're like explicit. They're like, you know, they're Trojan horses. All right, folks. Let's keep it moving here. Thank you, everybody. Amazing coffees, buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby. In the last few minutes of the show, let's get to Mark out of Los Angeles, man. Thank you for your call. You're on the air.
Hey, Nick. How you doing? Happy Men's History Month.
Thank you. Happy Men's History Month, Mark.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I missed Kentucky John's call, but I've been reading about it in the comments and other callers are talking about him. What did he say that was so outrageous today?
Oh, you know, essentially, geez, why can't I remember? Look, he called. What did he call? He basically called in to say, you know, Rick had called me, and he's basically saying these people are dumb, and what was he even calling in about? Geez.
Well, you're talking about the Israeli?
That's right. He did mention that, Israelites and being Negro. That's right. And how the Bible, he's saying that the Bible, and definitely he was trying to say this particular Bible, but I think he was trying to say the Bible in general differentiates certain peoples in the Bible as a Negro. And he was trying to make, I forget exactly, but some point about being Negro and how the Negroes are the Israelites.
Yeah, who said that? Was that John?
That's right.
No, that's bunk. You see, the thing about John, Kentucky John, he's got an identity problem. Negroes were Christianized by their slave masters, 150, 200 years ago. When John and others like him, got away from their white brethren's recommendation of Christianity, they fell right into Satan's hands. And John, if you're listening, you better come back to Christ. I asked him if he believed that Jesus was his personal savior once in a debate on the Hake Show, and he freaked out. He said, "Oh, that's a hate crime." How's that a hate crime?
Really?
But he couldn't think of anything else to say, I guess. But if you want to save yourself, Kentucky John, stop with this nonsense that you're a Jew. You're not a Jew. You'll never be one. So just, take what you are. Thank God you're breathing, and don't make a fool out of yourself.
That might be
they are not Israelites. They are Negroes with an identity crisis.
Some of that might be some helpful advice, for those who want to take it or leave it.
Well, the problem is he's so angry at the white man, he's looking for a way out. He doesn't accept. It sounds to me, this is a personal observation, that he doesn't accept Christianity because it came from the white man.
That's right.
And I'll concede that Christianity is a white man's religion, but that doesn't mean non-whites can't be saved. So, John, you need to wake up. I'm glad you're calling back. I know you were gone for a while. I was gone for a while, so I can understand that. But just for your own sake, come to your senses, get this identity problem out of your mind, and try to, live like a white, since you've got to live in a white man society instead of hating on the white man. Believe me, if you're listening, John, if it wasn't for us, you'd be starving in Africa. So you really owe us. You should pay us reparations. So that's basically all I got for you.
That's pretty reasonable, Mark. I mean, for someone who wants to live a fine life, that's actually pretty reasonable. And not only that, I mean, we could quibble on whatever, on identity and what that means to us, but whatever. I think I can understand what you're saying here. You're saying that is the history here, John. If you want to talk about tracing it back, you want to go all the way back and try and make some claim about it being an Israelite. How about just look at your mama and your daddy, who were in America where the Negro or the black man was Christianized, like you said. It's like, you can live a good life. You can and what an amazing thing out of all the things to be brought into, etc., to be brought into Christianity, what a positive thing to even if you just culturally have it in your life to order you and help you out in life. I mean, what a nice thing.
Well, not only that, but when you think about it, the blacks who were enslaved, 150, 200 years ago, they actually had a higher standard of living than the black man in Africa today. Your average slave had a better life and a longer life than the average Negro living in any African nation today. And the only reason there's any type of civilization, if you want to call it that, in Africa is because of the white man who went there and brought civilization. He tried to civilize the black people. He tried to, like in South Africa, they were set up with the government. Everything was ready to go. The white man had carved the civilization out of that jungle. They gave it to the natives, the Negroes, and look at it now. They're killing white people. They're begging Trump for money. They'll never make it on their own. And it's the same story everywhere. In Rhodesia, same thing. You give them something that's all ready to go. Rhodesia had a functional government under white rule, just like South Africa. But once they gave it up under pressure from the stupid diversity mad world, look what happened to those countries. And if you look at it on a local level, look at all of our major cities that are run by the black power political machine. They're unlivable. And every one of those cities at one time had major race riots in the 60s. Those same cities in the 50s, like Detroit, that was a very beautiful city in the 50s. A lot of Polish people, a lot of white people, car manufacturing. The middle class was there. Then 1967 hit. Now, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of whites left the city after those riots, and many, many have left since. And Detroit's just a shadow of its former self. Black people in the Constitution were basically there, written off as 3/5, for us to take care of them, because they can't make it on their own. Without the white man, they'll fall. Have you heard of Freedom, Georgia?
I have.
Look how they've been at it for 5 years, trying to build a black city or whatever it is.
If you notice, Freedom, Georgia is led by these two women. These two women who, one of them, I believe, came into some money. And then this other one, the face of it is the CEO, and she's all like, we got to do this for our people. I notice, besides it being like built on like a grievance, it's like we're mad at white people, like we got to live our own, and that's a lie. Like, where are you being harassed by whites? Like, let's be real.
Right.
Besides that, you got to notice the framework here. I think it's deeper. You got these women that came together and did it. There is, I think about this often enough where, blacks had something, they built stuff, they had families and all that. Look, imagine if men were leading that, it just could be a different thing. And it definitely, for me, goes deeper when you notice the women that are running there. It's like, if you don't got the men in your community not caring about this, and so two women come around and say, hey, guys, we got to do this. And you're like, yeah, ladies, tell us what to do next. That's going to fail. That's not real.
Oh, yeah.
That's nothing real about
Well, they've been at it for 5 years in Freedom, Georgia. And if you look at it, they've showed it on the internet and everything. It's like a KOA camp. It's just got a couple of tents.
Yeah.
You got a trailer. It's totally backwards. And if you look at Back to the Land, that group of whites who want to be nationalistic and separate, like our founding fathers were, they've got it together. I mean, they're getting plumbing, electricity to build a whites-only community.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing it in the spirit of our founding fathers. And they're doing it on private property, so our communist government can't force them to become race-mixing diverse. I say whoever came up with that idea is a good man, blessed by God. I guess he's one of the guys Jesse had on his show this
Did you
morning.
see he had him on the show?
Yep. Yeah, I didn't hear it. I heard Hake talk about it.
Yeah, he was a guest on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. Eric Arwol, I believe, running Return to the Land over there in Arkansas.
Is he the founder of the group?
Yes.
Good man. Unfortunately, I missed it. But, they're trying to do the right thing. And as things get worse racially, I think more whites are going to look for a way to separate, even if they have to break the law, which is insane that they would have to break the law in our own country that we founded and built. And yet we got to worry about communist government forcing us to commit suicide, basically, by forcing race mixing on us.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to have race mixing, let them have it. But don't force us into it. Let us be separate but equal. Separation.
And that's kind of what Eric was saying too. Like, if you want to live somewhere, we don't want to force segregate anybody. If you want to be somewhere where you guys do that, it's fine. And he was kind of saying the same thing there. I thought it was just level-headed.
Well, they've already segregated themselves.
That's right.
In black cities, in major black cities that are, and look how that's going.
Sometimes better than, than if it wasn't. Like how the churches kind of separate and they kind of just deal with themselves. Like, imagine if they would be fighting at churches, maybe the other way.
Well, look what happened in
more
Cincinnati.
maybe than there already is. You were saying?
No, I was saying in Cincinnati they attacked those white people, and the government, the local Cincinnati government, that bozo mayor, who you can't even pronounce his name, they were all supportive. They were all saying, "Oh, it was a fight." No, it was a racial mob and an attack. But the mayor's just a worthless piece of garbage. And his black councilman in back of him when he was making that speech, they were clapping. Oh, yeah, let's go arrest the white victims. I mean, these people are beyond evil. These people are beyond demonic. You see a beatdown and you're supporting the demons that did it. And these are elected officials. The chief of police is a clown.
It's egregious, and I think it's a woman.
It is. She's a diversity hire.
That's right.
Unqualified, a self-hating white, probably a lesbian. Don't know for sure. But
we
she's
don't
not
know
the
that.
most attractive woman. Pardon?
I said, well, we don't know that. But, man, Mark, appreciate it. Just because of time, man, we got to move it along here. We didn't have much time anyways to begin with. Call me again, though.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
Thank you, Mark. Justin, you got like 30 seconds, man. Sorry about that, but I appreciate your call, man. Justin SoCal.
Good. All right. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, I think the last caller before Mark, John, not only is he a snake, but it seems like he's not either a Hebrew or an Israelite or a Christian, and his race consciousness has kind of diluted his ability to recognize Jesus as the unifier for our faith.
It's a terrible way to live, I think, Justin.
Yeah, well, I do definitely believe that he's an imposter and he's a wannabe Christian, but I hope, I prayed for him earlier, I hope that he definitely gets the love of the Lord.
Well, thank you, Justin. I think we can agree with the sentiment. I kind of want to ask you how you prayed for him, but we don't have the time for that, man. Can you call me again?
All right. Amen. Bye.
All right, folks, I got to go. Take care, man. Take care, folks. I hope you enjoyed the show. We did the topics, the calls, the super chats. I do want to say quickly before we go, Jabrail, MTP, a generous supporter of the show who will not be forgotten. Thank you for that, Jabrail. Always a pleasure, man. And thank you all my supporters, everybody who donate coffees, all my viewers here who have liked and subscribed, obviously. Don't be rude. Leave a little like, leave a little comment. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. For now, I must go. I'll see you tomorrow for more American Anchor, baby. All right, folks. Take care. See you tomorrow. Peace.
The views, information, thoughts, and opinions expressed during this show are the individual's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of the JLP Network or Bond. Their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. The material and information presented here is for general information purposes only. The JLP Network and Bond name and all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owner, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service.